We always talk about adding revenue streams to your business, but doing it is a whole nother thing. In this episode, I'm talking to Renee Epstein Ross from Engine, and we're talking all about a passive revenue stream that is coming into the wedding industry to help you not only get room blocks for your couples and help them to be able to book rooms for their destination weddings, but also a way for you to make commission on those referrals. This is a truly passive revenue stream that you can add to your business that also helps your couple with a huge problem that they have. So even if you are not a planner, this is a great thing that you can add into your business workflow as a DJ, a photographer, florist, to be able to help your couples book those room blocks that can be so tricky to do. And if you are a full service planner listening to this episode, trust me, you're gonna wanna tune in and listen to how you can leverage this to not only make your job easier, but also to add a few dollars into your pocket each year. Renee, I am so excited to have you on the podcast so we can dig into all things Engine. And I really am thrilled for our listeners to get to understand a little bit more about how valuable this tool is. Because I'm not going to lie, I feel like I've been pitched many a software that says that it will do what you said that you would do. So I was intrigued to get the walkthrough. And then when you showed me everything, I was just like, okay, we need to talk about this on the podcast because my listeners need to see this. The wedding industry needs to see it. So thanks for coming on and talking to us all about it.
Oh, you're so kind. Thank you so much. I'm really excited to chat with you and talk through Engine more. I definitely agree. I think our services are really helping a lot of wedding industry professionals, and really excited to chat more and share this with your audience.
Yeah, this is going to be good. Okay, so before we show everybody, Renee, can you kind of tell us what Engine is and kind of how it came to be?
Yeah, I would love to. Long story short, we're an accommodation platform. We have over 750,000 properties across the globe. Our rates are really competitive. So for groups, for room blocks, they're up to 20% cheaper than reaching out to a property directly or leveraging a different service. We really built this out because we saw a big gap in the industry. The room block accommodation process is kind of just a really antiquated one.
Yeah.
A lot of times planners are calling the front desk. The front desk has to transfer them to the group sales department, especially ever since the pandemic. The group sales team is never really at their desk. And so you're waiting days and weeks to hear back from someone. And it can be a really tricky process, both for planners and couples. There are terms like attrition and cutoff dates. And hopefully for a lot of folks, this is their first and only time that they're getting married and have to deal with this process. And dealing with it alone can be really daunting. So we've created this streamlined service where we are a white glove service. We'll help both planners and couples with everything from requests for proposals, negotiating things like attrition, getting different room blocks for different budgetary needs, all the way through checkout. So if there's ever a problem with incidentals or anything of that nature, our team is here to help support. And again, at the end of the day, we just want to make both planners and couples' lives a little bit easier.
Yeah. And one of the things I thought was so intriguing about your service in particular is that while planners are typically the ones dealing with room blocks, a lot of vendors, right, have clients who either don't have a planner or the planner maybe is just day of. And so they can also refer this service and make a commission off of that referral, right? So that the couples can work directly with Engine to create their room blocks. And by referring them, they can make a small commission on that.
Yep, 100%. So we have two flows. One flow A, maybe like your full service planner, where you can go onto our platform, submit requests. And like I said, white glove service, our team will help reaching out to the properties and streamlining responses for you, which is amazing. But also for maybe more like partial, day of, month of coordination services, we can spin up co-branded landing pages so they look like they're an extension of the planner's services. They can add it to their site directly. They can email it out to clients, but then couples can go through the process themselves. They can submit requests, same level of service, same person on the other side of things. And so we're really just trying to help all of these different facets of the industry.
Okay, so Renee, when you say a co-branded landing page, what would that look like exactly, or how does that work?
So we request a few things from our planners to customize it for their business. So we'll ask for a high-res logo on a vector file. We'll be able to pull that in. We can pull in hex colors from planners' websites to make sure it feels really on brand. And then it'll be wedding specific. So we'll have wedding specific imagery, and we'll be able to kind of create all that pretty quickly. Once a logo is sent, roughly within 1 week, we're able to ship a landing page and get it back to planners.
Okay, great. And so then they can just keep that as a page on their site, either live in the toolbar or a hidden page just specifically for clients. And if you guys want to see what this looks like, head to the link in the show notes and you can see exactly how we've co-branded the Wedding Pro CEO page. And that's actually where you can also input your information so that you can create an account with Engine and their team can go ahead and get you set up with your own co-branded landing page and revenue stream to be able to get this out to your couples. If you're feeling like the economy is causing you to constantly get ghosted and need to consistently drop your prices just to get bookings, I have some news for you. It's not the economy, it's your sales strategy, and I'm here to help you fix it. I created a brand new free training where I'm going to share the exact strategy I use and I teach to thousands of wedding pros who have been able to double their wedding bookings in less than 30 days using this strategy. It's called the Assume Method, and if you're not using it, you're leaving thousands of dollars on the table. This isn't just another fluffy course. This is raw, actionable CEO level strategy. Whether you're new, struggling, or ready to hit your next 6 figures, this training will change the game for your business. But don't wait, because the top 1% of wedding pros aren't just good at their craft, they're good at running their business. And if you're ready to join them, I'll see you in the training. Okay, so Renee, you're gonna walk us through Engine on the back end. What's interesting about it is those 2 different flows. And as a planner myself, obviously, I love that we can go in as a full service planner and do it for our clients and have your help managing it. I know that there are so many students inside our program that are planners that are like, I hate room blocks. They're the death of me.
Yeah.
And so this is a really simple tool, but then also it's such a great resource for couples. So it really works both ways. Let's dig into taking a look at what it looks like behind the scenes.
So this is what the platform looks like once you have access. And for room blocks in general, the hospitality industry term is typically 9 rooms or more. If you ever have a need for 9 rooms or less, maybe it's personal travel, maybe you're coordinating travel for a photographer or a florist who needs to stay somewhere overnight, you'll leverage this booking tab. We have lodging, flights, and rental cars. Pretty intuitive. You'll enter in city, address, venue, the dates that you need, accommodations, and then the guests. And like I said, pretty streamlined there. Lion's share of what our planners are leveraging is this groups tab. This is just a demo account, but you can situate this and organize it to your needs. So you'll have all the different trip names, dates. You'll be able to see all the different properties, locations, room counts, and then different statuses. I know oftentimes it can be really daunting if you have all these different events trying to remember all of the specifics. So we put everything into a nice little platform for you to be able to view them one by one. But to start a trip, you'll click on start. You can enter in city, hotel, zip code, venue.
As a planner, if we know that we have a wedding in a certain zip code and we want the hotel to obviously be nearby, we can just enter in the zip code. But if we want a very specific hotel and we still don't want to have to go through the red tape of calling the hotel directly, we can just go ahead and give you that specific hotel right here.
You can include it here. If the wedding is at a venue, you could also include that. So you could enter in any of that info. And then a little bit later on, we'll also have certain questions about distance and how far the couple is comfortable being away from the venue. So yes.
Okay.
I know one of the first questions couples always ask is, how much is this going to cost? And that depends a lot on seasonality and if there's any events going on. So we're pulling in real-time aggregated proprietary data to help level set expectations for different tiers of properties.
The software itself using Engine doesn't cost the couple anything, right?
That is correct. There's no fees to leverage our service, either for the planner or for the couple. We'll say it's an event. Maybe we need 10 singles, 10 doubles. We want to look at a bridal suite, we can also include that. So we're letting you select the room type, which is really awesome. What's also really cool, if for whatever reason, you have people coming in late, leaving early, they won't be there for the goodbye brunch, you can also communicate all of that from the jump. So your couple is only paying for whatever room nights are actually being used. We always auto default to 0 to 5 miles from whatever address you input. You can always blow this out if you want to be a little bit farther away, see what your options are. You can filter by star rating. So if we only want 3 stars or up, if there's a specific property you have in mind, I know the Halcyon's really great. You can select it that way. You can filter for amenities as well. You can click on a property and do a little bit of a deeper dive. So you'll be able to do pictures, make sure it looks okay, amenities, check-in, check-out time about the property, a blurb about the property, as well as reviews that we're pulling in from a variety of different sources so you can feel confident in your decision-making process. We'll select a few properties for this proposal. We'll click on continue. A few more questions about amenities, just trying to get a better understanding of what the couple needs. We need to have breakfast, like I said, parking, meeting space can be a big one if you're helping to coordinate like maybe a rehearsal dinner or an after party. So we'll ask for budget, meeting attendees, dates and times you need the space, if you need AV, if you need F&B, any other notes. Anything else pertaining to amenities. So I know amenity bags being dealt out at check-in can be a big one. You can include that the couple would like to do that, and we'll do our best to negotiate that with the property on your behalf. We'll click continue. A few more questions. If for whatever reason the properties selected don't abide by the answers here, we'll offer up a few additional properties that do. So maybe I want $250 for my maximum nightly rate. I want to be no farther than 2 miles from the destination. I'm a big Hilton gal. I'd like to stay at a Hilton property. It's important to me that it's 4 stars or up. And, nightly rate is the most important to me. And then in this anything else column, that's where I always like to say, like, whatever additional context you have about this room block, I would include it. And that's because each event will have one dedicated group sales manager who is helping to oversee and reach out to all of these properties on your behalf. So the more information you provide to them from the jump, the better, more qualified properties we are able to get for you. So here I would include things like, hey, I would strongly prefer a courtesy block. I will need 2 different booking links for 2 different budgetary reasons. We have all of these different properties for all of these different budgetary restrictions. The group sales manager is also here, and they'll reach out after a request has been submitted. They're more than happy to hop onto a call or text or whatever your preferred mode of communication is to ensure they have all that info.
I think that was one of the things that intrigued me the most about this, because it's not just something you're punching a bunch of numbers into and then seeing what it kicks back. It is that, but then you also have dedicated sales managers who understand this landscape, and it is a really challenging landscape to navigate if you haven't been in the hotel business before, having come from that market.
100%.
I love room blocks because I understand hotel language, but that's because I came from hotels. A lot of wedding pros don't. And so really navigating this, there's so much to it. So I love that you have these dedicated specialists who understand it and who are really working with you to get the best, not just the best deal, but the overall best package for your clients.
100%. And they're also here to help educate too. If for whatever reason there is a term that someone's not familiar with, most of the time I've seen group sales managers and these specialists like jump to communicate that to planners and couples. So it's not even like they have to wait to be like, wait, I'm not familiar with this term. So they're extremely proactive in ensuring this is the best possible experience. There's so many emotions involved in the wedding planning process in general. And I know planners are putting their reputation and names on the line, and like any small fault in the process can leave a couple with a bad taste in their mouth. And we're hyper aware of that. And again, we never want anyone to be signing something where they don't fully understand the stipulations of the contract. So just a few more questions for this process. So we're gathering an email address, phone number, and then 2 payment options that are relevant here. So credit card payment to Engine, that is going to be 1 credit card for all rooms. I'll be super honest. in the wedding space, this isn't leveraged that frequently. Perhaps a family wants to spend or pay for a certain amount of rooms for X amount of folks. Then you would leverage this option. What is utilized most frequently is individuals pay at hotels. So as guests are checking in, they're all swiping their credit cards.
That makes the most sense.
Totally. We would click submit, kind of what I was saying earlier of like one of the qualms about this process. It's super time consuming. You can be waiting days, weeks to hear back from properties, and we just streamline that process. So on average, you will get a response and a proposal within 2 to 3 business days, if not sooner. It's going to depend on the property, but more often than not, I'm seeing 2 to 3 business days. You'll get an email notification, hey, your proposal's ready for review. You'll come into the dashboard and you'll be able to see everything side by side, which is pretty cool, and what they are and are not able to accomplish. This is just a demo account. You can ignore that it's the same property, but you get a feel for what it would look like. So this one looks like it's the most economical. We can view it and then run through like line item by line item what this property accomplishes. So 17 rooms, check. We asked for a 3-star hotel. Doesn't look like we hit the mark there. Maybe it's 2 stars. We asked for $175 a night or less. We were able to undercut that quite a bit. It's within 9 miles. We got parking, but there's no pool. This would articulate attrition and what it means. There's some helper text there, but again, our team is always here to help communicate what that looks like, meeting space info, and then just more about the property. If you review this, you review it with your couple, you're like, amazing, this looks great. Next step is you would click accept. We would then get a contract from the property, even if it is a courtesy block. It's just our standard procedure. We would ask the planner, hey, who does this contract go to? Does it go to you? Does it go to the couple? Does it go to you before we send it to the couple? Again, we want to be very mindful of the planner's practices and not interrupt their workflow.
Every planner that's listening to this right now, like our hearts just like sent little stars out, because that is one of the hardest things to get vendors to understand is, hey, we have put our names on this and we need to review it before it goes to our clients, especially if we're full service. Because if there's something in it that's wrong, that's on us. And so 100%. I love that you not only thought about that, but that you guys have implemented that as an option. So for all the planners, that's a huge deal for us. It won me over. I'm not going to lie when you were showing me all of this.
Again, at the end of the day, like I was saying earlier, 100% understand that this is an extension of your services, your reputation, your name, and we want to figure out how we can best service both yourself and the couple for the best possible experience.
I love that.
Once the contract has been signed, next step is we would do a warm handshake with the property. We would make an introduction, and then the property would generate a booking link that the couple can then add to their wedding website. If for whatever reason the couple communicates to the planner a month out, like, hey, we've exceeded our room count, can we reach out and get more rooms added? Can always be a conversation with the group sales manager to make any updates. We can reach out to the property and see what we can do. So it's still an open line of communication.
I love that. What else should we know about using Engine? I know that there's a commission structure, right? So can we touch on that for just a second? As a planner, let's touch on it as a planner, like a full service planner. And then also if we're just referring our couples there, so that would be, photographers, DJs, florists, really anybody, venues that don't have rooms, obviously. How can both of these different people understand that commission structure?
Yeah. So even just to answer your question earlier, like I know we were talking a lot about planners, but we have wedding industry professionals of all kinds leveraging our platform to help with accommodations for staff and just streamlining the process and being able to see all invoices in one place. They really love utilizing us for that. Definitely think we can help support them there.
And honestly, right now, what's happening is a lot of planners are doing these room blocks and getting nothing from it. And it's so much work. And so this is a great way to make it simpler on yourself and also add a little bit of a revenue stream into your business. But for all the other pros who are listening, I know we have so many different kinds of pros that are in our listenership. This is a really easy way to solve a problem for your couples. I know so many vendors who are like, my couple, they're from out of state and they don't have a planner yet and they need rooms. And so this is just a really easy way to put this as part of your workflow. Like, hey, if you need rooms, use Engine. We love them. And have that landing page and be able to make a small revenue stream off of it, but also solve a problem for your clients. I really appreciate this. I think it's amazing. Is there anything else that our listeners should know about Engine?
Yeah, I think I kind of touched upon it, but I'd love to really just drive home on our rates and being super competitive. Our ability to get such competitive rates, especially for a lot of these like destination properties, really helps to ensure the best possible experience for your guests as well. And we have accommodations for all different types of budgets, right? So we have the ultra luxury properties, we have your extended stays, middle of the road properties, as well as budget. Again, to your point, we're taking one of these really burdensome tasks off of planners' plates. We are helping the couple secure the best possible rates, also the best possible experience, listening really to what their needs are.
Yes.
I think it's kind of a win-win-win from all angles.
I love this. Renee, tell us where they can learn more about Engine.
Yeah. So we have a form that we have created just for your audience. And so they will go to that form. It's a few short questions. We're just asking like first name, last name, business, what type of planner you are. Once they submit it, within 24 business hours, someone from our team will be in touch to get them situated with an account.
We'll put that link in the show notes below, you guys. So click that link, just give them a little bit of information. And again, this is a great way to make a small revenue stream for your business that's super, super passive for you. So I love this. I love that you're solving a problem, Renee, for the wedding industry and honestly for several industries. But thank you so much for being here. I'm excited to see everybody learn and use Engine even more.
Thanks, Brandy.